Hi, and welcome back to SDI Coffee Break, where we're again with Susan Story. Hi, Susan, how are you?
Hi, I'm very well, thanks, David.
Good, good. So we've been talking about working in a remote environment, working from home and managing teams in that work environment as well. Let's maybe talk about a couple of things as we go through this. Let's talk about kit, right? Technology, what we use to make this happen. And you've got a brilliant exponent there, Susan, because you're using a headset. And I think I even know what a headset is. That's how much of a weird technology junkie I am. I think I know the manufacturer, right? I think I might be wrong. So what do you think about kit then? We could talk about the quality of the headset and microphone because that's going to impact on communication and how maybe we use that as well. What points have you got around that?
Okay, so thank you for that, David. There's a whole bunch of things that you need to get ready when you're about to do something where you're going to be on video and you're going to need to talk to people. Several things. Where shall I start? I always wear a headset. I have tried without, and there are certainly some tools that are really good without a headset. Some of my more casual things that I do on Zoom, for example, I can get away easily without using a headset for that. But when I'm in some kind of a formal where I need to be clear that people can hear me, then I wear a headset. The other reason for wearing a headset is it drowns out any background noise, especially now we're all working from home. We've got family, pets, other people in the house, all sorts of things happening. So that helps you to focus. And also the speaker will also drown out some of that background noise as well. So there's quite a lot of good reasons for wearing it. Everybody has their own preference. Some of my colleagues wear their earbuds, iPod earbuds, but I don't like them. And I feel really happy with this and I know how to set it up. And I always test my speaker and my mic every single time I switch on. I go through the setup to make sure it's working the best possible. Because it's really frustrating when you've got people who are not easy to hear. They're too quiet. Some of the laptops, people use their laptops because we've been taught that that's good technology and good connection when we're in a casual environment, but actually the laptops, the speakers are often in a weird place. So when you're trying to speak as part of a meeting, you're probably going to be too quiet or fuzzy. So a headset, I would say, is an essential if you want to appear professional. The last point about that is it also gives you that confidential, that air of privacy when you're doing your work. If I'm doing a support desk call with a bank, I don't really want the rest of my family to hear what we're trying to fix. And I'm sure the bank doesn't too. So there'll be reasons. Some of us will be under I can't think of the word, under rules and regulations, policy that we'll have to wear a headset for security, for privacy. There's a key thing here about knowing how to mute. So on mine, I have a mute button on mine, but I tend, if I can, not to use that because then I'll forget. I tend to try and use the mute button, which is on the tool that I'm using. So then I can see if I'm muted and so can other people.
What about, so if you've been supplied kit, you're there, you've got your laptop, you've set up, stuff isn't working, other than in a working environment with the service desk, how would you sort of remediate that? Is it simply just about knowing the stuff around you well, or is it something else? Is it, for example, have you got a backup right now, right? Have you got a backup if this fails, as an example?
Yes, I actually thank you for pointing that out, David. I'm not going to show you, but yes, I always run with a second piece of kit. It might be an iPad, it could be my phone. I have a Mac with me as well. Whatever I am, I've tested my equipment and my calls and how I'm using the remote technology, so that if necessary, I could flip onto the lowest form would be my phone, but I do use other things. And actually, it's a good point. You need to discuss that at the beginning of the meeting. So for me, what I do is say, right, sometimes I have people I don't know very well, but what I do is I get them, right, everybody type in chat your email address, which is the one you're using today. And I pick that up, pop it into my notepad. Used to be really clumsy, but now I'm really quick at doing that. Pop it into my notepad and I say, right, if anything happens and I'm not speaking for more than 5 minutes, wait for an email. Go and have a coffee and wait for an email from me and I will tell you what we're going to do next. And I found that, I think partly because I've set it up like that, I only ever had to use it once. I did have to use it once.
You had to use it. And that's what it's there for, isn't it? I suppose it's with any sort of business continuity sort of environment, that's the type of thing you need to think about. Because if you're not working or not engaged, then something somewhere stops. Something else, there's a dependency somewhere else, isn't there? In that sort of supply chain of whatever you do and how you engage. Now, we briefly talked about environment in the last one, but let's maybe talk about that right now. So the environment, the setup, things like lighting, for example. What are some of your thoughts on sort of the environment?
So yeah, lighting, where you're sitting, thinking about where you're sitting. I'm not sure my lighting's as good as it could be. I've had to move offices recently, so I'm still working on it actually, but it's not too bad. But I think I might adjust it. Um, Lighting, you don't want, for example, obvious things, sorry, they're not obvious things, like you don't want a window behind you which is then bleaching you out and you look like some kind of an alien. So just thinking about, what do you look like, more than thinking about all the lighting, just think about, do I look like an ordinary human being, or do I look a bit odd? Do I look pale and pasty? You probably got light coming at you from the wrong place. Are you looking, I'm not going to do it because it's horrible, am I looking down into the laptop? I have done it. Or
Yeah.
up into the laptop? Where have I got it? Where is my camera facing at me? You want to make it conversational, so you want people to be able to think they're looking in your eyes, as you would do if you were sitting around a table with people. So thinking about the light, do you look right? You might want to move a light, you might want to move the window or draw a blind. Natural light is lovely, but sometimes if the sun comes out, it might make you look a little ghostly.
Yes.
So it's practice really, and thinking about it and trying different looks, looking and thinking, oh, does that look good like that? Or do I look a bit hard to see?
Yeah.
Backgrounds, what's behind you? I have carefully positioned myself so you can see the tidiest bit of my study. The rest of it belongs to someone else, so it's really messy. So I make sure you can see something, so you can see a bit of me, but you're not distracted by me. Because that's quite hard, although also fascinating, how many Zoom calls I've been on where I've looked at other people's living rooms with
Yeah. Yeah.
curiosity.
Yeah.
But also thinking about our industry, how would that affect someone else? Are they too busy looking at where I live and work to listen to what I'm trying to explain to them or tell them? Um, David and I were talking about this earlier. There are some of the tools that we've got where you can blur the background, so you can have it so it's all fuzzy, so you don't have to worry about what's behind you. Some of the tools allow you to put a new backdrop behind you. There's a little bit of corporate issue there about, what does your organization, do they want you to have the brand behind you? Just thinking about, are you in a comfortable place on a decent chair, which I am, at the right height? My laptop is slightly raised so that I can look into, I'll tell you, that's another tip actually, that people haven't, not everybody has mastered this yet. You tend to look at the person you're speaking to. So David, you're on my screen on the left, so I'm looking over there, but that doesn't look right. I should really keep on looking at the camera which is in front of me, because then you get the feeling that somebody is speaking to you. It's just one of those little things that after a while you get the hang of.
Okay, we're going to close on that one there, Susan, if that's okay, and we'll come on to the next session. So thank you for your time. Thank you to everybody listening as well, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you.